may have arrived in what is now Mecca and expelled the local inhabitants, known as Al-Amalika, likely Bedouins. The Jurhumites positioned their principal deity, Zuhal, at the forefront of the Kaaba, which apparently already existed before their arrival. Zuhal, linked to agriculture and Saturn, embodies healthy growth, a symbolism derived from Saturn's slow orbit. Notably, the name Zuhal translates to slow in Old South Arabian. Later, another tribe from Yemen, the Khuza'a, settled in the area, assimilated the Jurhum tribe, and established the deity Manaf, a mountain god, at the head of the Kaaba, whose name means highest. The tribe of Khuza'a is said to have controlled Mecca for over 400 years. Lastly, before being assimilated by the Quraysh in the 5th century, it is said that the tribe of Khuza'a introduced the deity Hubal to the head of the Kaaba, a god from the Roman province of Syria-Palestina, suggesting Hubal to be of Syrian origin. If you've already watched our documentary, God's Insane Historical Evolution, from Mesopotamia to Modern Times, you've likely noticed that Hubal, or Baal, was by far the most prevalent deity across the Middle East. Originally known amongst the Mesopotamians as Bel, meaning Lord, symbolized by a bull and thunder, which bestowed upon him the attribute of warrior. Bal-Hadad was the preeminent deity of rainfall and war in the Middle East. This deity was referred to as Baal by the Canaanites and the Ugaridians, and as Bull in Syria. Moreover, the North Arabians called him Al-Hadad, and to the South Arabians as Hadam and Baal. His Mesopotamian epithet, Ramanu, literally thunderer, was recognized among the Arameans of Syria as Raman, Raman to the Sabaeans, and Raman or Ramanan to the South Arabians, translating to the merciful, for bringing water to their fields. The earliest recorded use of Raman dates back to the 8th century BCE in Akkadian inscription dedicated to Baal-Hadad. In the kingdom of Himyar, it was common for Jews, Christians, and pagan Arabs alike to refer to Jesus as the son of Ramanan, also found in Hebrew as Harahaman. This title later became one of the most common epithets for Allah, Ar-Rahman, the Merciful. The Kaaba also housed another deity associated with water, Al-Ba'ali, known for its connection to plants growing in inhospitable terrains, because nourished by underground water sources. Interestingly, the term Ba'ali persists in modern Arabic to describe rainfall agriculture, which remains the predominant agricultural method in Arabia today, due to water being sourced from underground aquifers. Furthermore, also Hubal may be translated as water spring or vapor. Karen Armstrong, a renowned British author and expert in comparative religions, postulates that the 360 deities contained in the Kaaba likely represented the days of the lunar calendar year. Moreover, it is thought that the Quraysh tribe may have added the idols of Abraham, Jesus, and Mary to the Kaaba to acknowledge Christianity and Judaism and to attract Christian and Jewish traders to Mecca. According to the Book of Idols by Hisham ibn al-Kabi, there were at least 4 other Kaabas around Arabia, apart from the Kaaba in Mecca, which housed the Black Stone. The Kaaba of Najran, owned by the tribe of Al-Harith. The author, however, mentions, "I also heard that it was a hall for the poets." The Kaaba of Sindad, owned by the tribe of Ilid in Mesopotamia. The author clarifies, "I have, however, heard that this house was not a place of worship. Rather, it was a celebrated edifice." The Kaaba of Gaiman, where locals venerated a red stone. And the Kaaba of Dul Halasa, also known as Al-Abalat, or Kaaba of Yemen, located in the modern-day city of Tabala, which contained a white stone. The Kaaba of Yemen, Dul Halasa, was particularly hated by Prophet Muhammad, and thus, in Sahih al-Bukhari 4355 we read, "In the pre-Islamic period of ignorance, there was a house called Dul Halasa, or Al-Ka'aba al-Yamaniya. The Prophet said to me, 'Won't you relieve me from Dul Halasa?' So I set out with 150 horsemen, and we demolished it and killed whoever was present there. Then I came to the Prophet and informed him, and he invoked good upon us and on my tribe." The Kaaba of Dul Halasa was very similar, if not identical to the Kaaba of Mecca. In fact, Arrow divination was there too, was practiced, and when Jarir arrived, he threatened the local priest, thus saying, "Break them, and testify that none has the right to be worshipped except Allah, or else I will chop off your neck." So the man broke.
Coming up, Chairman Shalima Company denies accusation of monopolizing TVS business in Sierra Leone. Stakeholders on gender-based violence call for effective implementation of Prohibition of Child Marriage Act. And residents and road users raise concerns over condition of Macaulay Street in Freetown. These stories and more line up in this edition of News Hour after the break. Now, in a remarkable achievement for education in Sierra Leone, Rising Academy Waterloo has been shortlisted for the top 3 World's Best School Prizes organized by T4 Education. This prestigious award recognized the vital role schools play globally. Nyanjewa Thoronka has more.
Founded in 2016 amidst the Ebola crisis, Rising Academy in Waterloo has gone over the years from a preschool to a secondary school in the Western Area Rural Districts. Its commitment to education and resilience has now earned it a spot among the world's top 10 schools for overcoming adversity in June 2024. During a recent celebration at the Academy, Honorable Ahmed J. Kanu, a former teacher at the school, announced the exciting news that Rising Academy Waterloo has qualified for the top 3 in the category of overcoming adversity, making it the only school in Africa to achieve this award. The atmosphere was overwhelmed as students, staff, and well-wishers celebrated this milestone. Deputy Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education 2, Mamusu Masakoi, celebrated the school, emphasizing that this achievement reflects not just on Rising Academy Waterloo, but on Sierra Leone and Africa as a whole. She expressed that with continued efforts, the school could go beyond the top 3 and win the prestigious award.
What you are doing is right, what you are doing is progressive, what you are doing is producing a lot of outcomes for our children. And these children in this community will not be deprived of good education, quality education, allowing them to maximize their potential. So congratulations, everyone.
Head of school, Alpha Kamara, highlighted the school's mission to not only provide quality education, but also to showcase Sierra Leonean culture on a global stage.
We are the top world best school in the world in overcoming adversity. We are going to have the accolade again as the anthem of Africa. As it stands now, we are the only school in the African continent that have qualified for this category. We're pretty sure that we are going to come up the award.
JSS3 pupil Nima Tubari expressed her determination, promising that they will continue to elevate the school and Sierra Leone to new heights.
As a rising student, I'm very happy and excited because I know that as rising, we to achieve more and more. And we promise that we will achieve the first world best school.
As Rising Academy Waterloo prepares for the final stages of the competition, it stands as a beacon of hope and excellence in education. We look forward to showing how this inspiring story unfolds. SLBC News R, Nandewa Toronka reporting.
As an alternative route for commuters, drivers, residents, pedestrians, and commercial drivers, Macaulay Street, which runs through Freetown, has been in a deplorable condition since the contractor halted its work. The poor condition of the road, according to residents, has affected their day-to-day activities, and the road becomes extremely difficult to use during the rains. For more on the story, our intern Esther Nene Kamara and Regina Koroma compiled this story read in the studios by Salmataba.
Now they no more making just not go inside. But if you see rain come out, where this does come up, all of us, and it's not allowed to lie. You see the open.
No. Macaulay Street Road, which helps reduce traffic and use as an alternative route for residents in Aberdeen, Freetown, and neighboring communities, is in a deplorable state, posing serious challenges for commuters and residents. On raining days, the road floods with water due to potholes, which result in traffic and accidents. Residents explain about the challenges they face anytime they use the road.
Now when the motor in the slow down and they attack now, because the motor they know they want speed. Yes, if you have some people they fall down, bike they fall down. Me self now I don't fall down.
When guys see this no, na don't stand then they are moving. We see now the whole almost. Guys see this na don't stand for moving.
Some commercial drivers and riders expressed their dissatisfaction over the poor condition of the road.
Yeah, this road here don't take a long time. Me, I dey appeal for men that will make this road for you because we dey strain at this road. And this road, the way you see, I take good down.
Like, do not expect to make the road so by now. The school is like popular all over the country. Important in a big school. At least the road are supposed to make. All right.
A parent, Mamusu Sise, told SLBC that many a time she dropped her son halfway due to the deplorable condition of the road.
Sometimes I even dropped him down the road because of the road. It's not really comfortable for us.
Commuters also mentioned that the poor road network has further exposed them to thieves, as commercial riders and drivers refuse to use the road during odd hours.
But like the night shifts, night colleagues, and when they can't walk, then they find it difficult for come and go because of the thief man. When they around, then they hang on so many corners them. So when they come, then they attack me, then they jump me back them, then they pull the phones, then we hang.
Residents, pedestrians, commercial riders and drivers are calling on government and relevant authorities to fast-track construction of the road.
The Sierra Leone Urban Research Center has held a conference focusing on bridging the gap in urban health transition in a just and inclusive society. The conference was a significant platform for key stakeholders to address critical issues surrounding urban health and inclusivity in Sierra Leone. Rosalind Koroma reports.
Technical and higher education and the government of Sierra Leone, I declare SLOC Conference 2024 officially open.
This conference was designed to underscore shared commitment to address the complexity that marginalized communities face in addressing healthcare delivery. It also facilitated dialogues on public health practices, research, and recognized the challenges that are yet to be addressed. In his statement, the Deputy Minister of Health, Dr. Charles Senesi, spoke on the importance of equitable access to health care services in urban areas. He highlighted the need for strategic interventions to ensure that all residents, regardless of their socio-economic status, have access to healthcare facilities.
We have fit for purpose health workforce in this country to make sure that we have
highly qualified, motivated health workforce in this country, and we are leaving no stone unturned. We thank you very much for standing on the data that we so much generate to make us achieve this.
Deputy Minister of Technical and Higher Education, Sajo Aziz Kamara, stressed the interconnection between education and urban health. He said the initiative of the SLURC complements the government's Big Five game changers, noting that education plays a vital role in promoting awareness on health issues and encouraged healthier behaviors. Executive Director of the SLURC, Dr. Joseph Makati, gave an insight on the imperative of creating just and inclusive communities, stressing that the need for urban planning policies that prioritize inclusivity, social justice, and accessibility to essential services for all.
About health behavior or health access within these communities, with what particular quality of treatment are they getting? Do we really have data to that particular effect? And to what extent are we helping to really track the effectiveness of these particular kinds of action within the health facilities? I think unless we have grounded knowledge on some of these realities, it becomes difficult for us to really hold the government accountable, especially in terms of action.
Various researchers presented insightful perspectives on issues relating to public health issues and emphasized the need for community engagement in urban health initiatives. This, they believe, will create a healthier environment for all. SLBC News, Rosalind Koma reporting.
The Council of Churches in Sierra Leone has made a strong commitment to continuing building peace, promoting justice and tranquility in the country and body of churches. The decision came through their 9th ongoing Trinarial General Assembly and Centenary celebration. Moses Conte was there and now reports.
From the early to the late 17th century, Sierra Leone had seen the emergence of Christian missionaries from colonial masters across the world. Though few in numbers by then, but we are considered as key players in agitating peace and triangulity when it comes to national issues. The establishment of the Council of Churches Sierra Leone in 1924 was in the same trajectory, where they stood as key players by embarking on several engagements to ensure the stability of peace while agitating for the end of the civil war. The church is expected to serve as a ground and pillar of truth. Thus, their constant engagement and interventions in establishing peace in the country is of essence. Fast forward over the years, questions such as how the CCSL are still holding to their virtue and commitment in ensuring triangulity in the country were in the apex.
After the war, Council now thought it fit that we should go strongly on the area of advocacy, especially the women and girls. We are greatly affected. Presently, as a council, we are also advocating for better handling of our country, especially in the area of climate change. When it comes to our role in the electionary process of our nation, that has also been a key area where we have been involved.
Acting Chief Justice and Chancellor Anglican Diocese of Freetown, Honorable Justice Nicholas Brandmark, said to renew the future of the council, member churches must face realities of life and adjust themselves accordingly to stand for the truth.
Renewing the present involves coming to terms with the conditions and circumstances of present-day life. We do not need to concede ground when it comes to the basic tenets of our Christian faith, but in renewing ourselves in order to bequeath to future generations the beauty, the reality, the awesomeness of our Christian faith, we must also face the realities of life and adjust ourselves accordingly. On a simple basis, we do so by the way we live and the way we deal with others, those we come into contact with and those with whom we come into conflict. Do unto others as you have them do unto you.
The 4-day event has in its theme celebrating our past, renewing the present, inspiring hopeful future, saw participants representing over 24 denominations across the country and commended the council for its unifying role in the country.
It's a blessing for the body and also as a nation, considering what CCSL has done in the nation and the body as a whole. Looking at the theme of this 9th annual and centenary celebration, celebrating the past and committing to the present and hopeful future, I believe it's another page. We are moving into another phase of the CCSL.
The event will end with a Thanksgiving service on the 22nd September 2024. Moses Conte, SLBC.
As efforts to strengthen innovation and entrepreneurship at tertiary level, the Institute of Public Administration and Management, IPAM, in partnership with the Center of Excellence in Entrepreneurship and Innovation, has provided financial support to students who have ventured into technology by establishing businesses while pursuing their studies. Aminata Fofana has more.
The participants were drawn from the 3 colleges of the University of Sierra Leone, and 6 made it to the final. They presented their ideas on various innovations, which left the judges' jaw dropped. After an intense presentation by the participants during the pitch night, 3 of the participants emerged as winners, and each was presented with financial support to boost their businesses.
People have brilliant ideas, but what is missing at times is the support system to get those brilliant ideas to the point where they become materialized or where they become actual enterprises themselves.
First runner-up, who proudly walked away with 30,000 leones, reminisced on challenges encountered into entrepreneurship, citing resilience and patience as contributors to achieving his dreams.
Use can be worked as a way to make sure that we use as a power bank. We cycle this can be actually used as a power bank so that it can extend the use of electronic devices for our people.
Lecturers at IPAM and authorities from the education sector congratulated the winners and appreciated the idea from the team, noting that the students are not just learning the theoretical aspect of innovation at the university, but are also practicing it as displayed during their presentations. They urged them to continue in this trajectory and encouraged other students who are yet to invest in entrepreneurship take the challenge, stating that it will secure their future. SLBC News, Aminata Fofana.
The Member of Parliament in the Western Area Urban District, Honorable Benjamin Toure, has installed solar-powered street lights. The work was done in 5 key areas, bringing much-needed light and safety to the neighborhoods. Jonathan Turner has more.
The installations have brightened key areas, including Signal Hill, the Hill Station Car Wash, Hill Court Bus Stop, New England, and Hill Station Community Hospital, bringing much-needed light and safety to these neighborhoods. The installation of solar lights not only provides a sense of safety and comfort, but also contributes to a cleaner, more sustainable environment. Residents who often struggled with the challenges of poor lighting and security concerns now feel empowered to move about more freely at night.
Point them to install this solar light in order to strengthen the security of the community. As a member of parliament that care and concern about his people, so that's why we are here this morning to install those solar lights in various communities. Of course, when we talk about development is not only about the government, it's about us, the people. So I do believe that this particular item of property is for the community, and they need to take care of it. It's their own. We are just here to do the lobby for them to have this property, but this property is going to be for them, so they need to take care of it. So that will give us courage and inspire us to do more for the community.
Beyond appreciation, the community has taken ownership of the initiative. Many residents to protect these valuable solar lights from thieves, recognizing their significance in improving their daily lives.
Right for us, and we believe we'll take care of it. And even we have a military personnel in our community. That one also will help them for their work, because it will, from the point where they are and to the point where they fix the solar, it will help their security position in the community. So we believe that one will maintain, and we will always watch over the particular equipment they are placing out for us.
Honorable Benjamin Touré's solar lighting project has not only illuminated the streets, but also strengthened the bond between the people and their representative. It stands as a testament to the power of practical solutions that can enhance the quality of life and foster community spirit. With such positive feedback and growing momentum, there is hope that similar projects will be undertaken across other areas in the Western Area urban districts. For Slbc News, Jonathan Turner reporting.
In an effort to mitigate the widespread of East African cassava mosaic virus in Uganda, variant from spreading in the country, Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, together with Central and West African Virus Epidemiology WAVE, biologists from Jala University and other partners have held a consultative and awareness-raising meeting at the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security Conference Hall. Our reporter Christina Kamara has more.
According to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, cassava is currently the third most important source of calories in the tropics after rice and corn, and Africa accounts for more than 50% of the global cassava production of 233.8 million metric tons. This tuberous plant has been disclosed as vulnerable to a broad range of diseases caused by whitefly. Among them is the cassava mosaic disease, which is the most severe and widespread, limited production of the crop in sub-Saharan Africa. Cassava mosaic virus Uganda variant has emerged to be the most deadly among the viruses affecting cassava. According to the Executive Director, Central and West African Virus Epidemiology, Professor Justin Peter, 3,000 people died in Uganda due to this epidemic.
It has spread, it has established, it's there. But where it is, then you have the high incidence of cassava mosaic disease. So there is a link between this Ugandan variant, the new, and incidence disease in Guinea. There is also a link between that and disease severity in Guinea. But what you can see that something that was just introduced recently, we think, has already spread. This is data for 2024.
The meeting, which brought together members from the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, West African Virus Epidemiology Center, Jala University, and other partners, was as a result of few suspected cases of this said virus that has been experimented in Potloko district. Country Director of West African Virus Epidemiology, Dr. Alusain Edward Samura, said the objective was to help strengthening the early warning system for pests and diseases in Sierra Leone and also mitigate the presence and devastating effect of cassava viruses.
The danger about it, if we have this cocktail of viruses, we have the tendency to lose 90 to 100% of our cassava due to these new viral threats that we have.
Whereas the Chief Agriculture Officer, Professor Abdullahi Jallo, said the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security will do everything possible to control the disease so that it might not impact Sierra Leone negatively. He called for continued collaboration and pledged the ministry's commitment and support for the initiative to yield good fruits. Slbc News are in Freetown, Christiana Kamara reporting.
The Ministry of Finance and partners have signed an agreement for the reconstruction of Mabang-Moyamba-Bangbatoke Junction Road. The move was to foster road transportation connecting important corridors leading to major agricultural or business centers across the country. Moses Conte was there and sent in this report.
The signing of the financial agreement between the government of Sierra Leone and Siltra for the reconstruction of the Mabang-Moyamba-Bangbatoke Junction Road marks a milestone in the infrastructural development in the country. Currently, the numbers of roads that are paved are far less compared to those not paved. Thus, the signing of the financial agreement is a step to see more donors and partners investing to see more roads constructed. Minister of Planning and Economic Development, Kenema Bali, said the agreement falls under Pillar 4 of the Big Five Game Changers, which stands as a major enabler to the remaining 4 pillars that will create job opportunities for young people while increasing road connectivity to agricultural areas. Deputy Minister of Finance, too, said they will fully cooperate with partners to support contractors carrying out their projects, adding that the said agreement will not only see the road being constructed, but are hoping to see the construction of other roads linking agricultural areas.
This road will bring a lot of improvements to that sector, to that corridor. Much needed connectivity in roads, much needed access to market for most of our farmers, fishing communities that are there. And a lot of development, even for the children coming up, right? Because this now open access. Kids will now see what development is about, and they will aspire to move from that region and also come back to develop.
Chief Executive Officer Silchua said so far they have constructed several roads across Africa. Thus, they were excited to be part of the development of the road sector in Sierra Leone. He said after a thorough assessment of the road, they noticed that the choice for that route was not a mistake. He thus made commitment that if all the documentations are processed on time, they will finish the project before the deadline. Moses Conte reports for SLBC.
Young people in communities bordering the Matehum Bridge that collapsed in July this year have constructed a makeshift passage to ease transportation in that part of the country. The bridge connects Bendembu and Gowang chiefdoms as well as Bombali and Karine districts. Our own Hassan Fore Kamara visited the area and sent in this report from Makini.
The makeshift passage can only accommodate pedestrians, motorbikes and light vehicles after they are offloaded. Though not as smooth as normal, it's been crucial in the transportation of goods. Their leader, Daniel Fona, told SLBC that out of their own contributions and self-sacrifice, they decided to take up the venture to ease the constraints of communities that relied so much on the road to carry out their economic activities. Mr. Fona said since the main bridge collapsed about 2 months ago, most of their businesses have suffered significant losses. Implementation of development plans almost impossible, and prices of key commodities skyrocketed. He said support from stakeholders in the chiefdoms and the district have not been visible since they started their service.
We don't make the place, the effort we need from the people there.
We have made the passage and we need support from the people and leaders to salvage the constraints. We as young people also come together to help manually transport loads across.
Drivers and entrepreneurs stopped at the crossing point said before the incident, they spent several hours to and from the district, but now they spend days due to the impairment on the bridge and also the deplorable condition of most parts of the highway.
Well, they're surviving because how we don't handle now, we're not going to handle so again.
We can't operate as we used to. There is no access to go to Freetown and back. Those who load from Freetown offload on one side, and the youths carry the loads over here, and we transport them. We are suffering.
So we really suffer.
In Bendabu town, the paramount chief member of parliament, Bombali district, Kande Baba Kia III, continued to raise concern on the situation. He said he has been making several calls to the required authorities in a bid to accelerate response, but so far, all have proven futile.
Well, in the first place, we don't make them known to the authorities concerned.
We have made it known to the authorities concerned. The president is also aware of the collapse of the bridge that links to Karine. There is no access now. All the other roads have flooded, and this is the only entrance.
This bridge here. But now we're not going no other way.
At the wake of the incident earlier in July this year, the Sierra Leone Roads Authority SLRA pledged short-term response in 10 days. It is now 2 months down the line and not much has been done.
Stakeholders in the fight against sexual and gender-based violence (SGBV), teenage pregnancy and early marriage in Sierra Leone have called on the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs to develop strong policies and regulations to complement the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2024. William Wise now reports.
The passing of the Prohibition of the Child Rights Act 2024 in July of this year has not only placed Sierra Leone among the list of countries with strong legal protection, but it has also made early marriage, especially girls, a criminal offense in Sierra Leone. Hence, robust regulations in the Act, such as conspiracy to cause child marriage, use of force or ill treatment of a child, prohibition of child marriage, attending child marriage, and aiding and abetting child marriage, among others, should be developed into a regulation for a proper implementation of the Act.
Another key thing which we are suggesting is that there should be family support. Families, including parents, must be supported by NGOs, ministry, in starting up businesses, because these are some of the strategies which we can implement in ending child marriage.
Those who are going to get married, valuable ID cards given by the government of Sierra Leone. Do you have a passport to indicate your age? Do you have a national ID card? These are some of the regulations the ministry will have to come up with.
The need to educate the public on the new law that seeks to protect the girl child involves a multi-sectoral approach by the government and its development partners.
Girl champions and stakeholders in Kailaun and Kujaun. Through workshops and consultations, we educated over 800 community members on harmful impact of child marriage, including the health risks and educational setbacks for young girls. Our advocacy efforts have catalyzed a shift in attitudes, with many community members committing to delay marriage until after adolescence.
We now have a child prohibition law, and it behoves every citizen to know that once you commit an offense within that law, it is punishable by law. What we are doing, we will continue to encourage our NGOs and development partners. Let's have a multi-sectoral approach.
The Chairman, Legislative Committee in Parliament, Honorable Abdoulaye Mori Conte, and Mariam Zombo, who piloted the Act, called on stakeholders in the room to develop a solid regulation that gears towards ending child marriage in Sierra Leone. A robust implementation of the Act is expected to end or curb both teenage pregnancy and early marriage for the first time in Sierra Leone. Slbc News, William Wise reporting.
The Residual Special Courts for Sierra Leone, RSCSL, has organized the dialogue session to engage communities on the importance of peace after engaging youths at Calabar Town Unity Attire Base, Regent Street Attire Base, and women at Congo Town Market. The session aims to draft recommendations from participants into a communique that will be out of publication. Stella Bangura witnessed the session and now reports.
We use a peace museum for let we tell people them if peace not there, the kind bad things and we can happen.
The dialogue session held at the Peace Museum in New Englandville delved into the 11-year war in Sierra Leone, informing participants of the causes and effects of the war, stating the importance of peace in the country. As the International Day of Peace approaches, the RSCSL engaged youths at attire bases in Calabar Town and Regent State, together with women at Congo Town Market, to raise awareness on the harmful effects of war, especially on women and children. The drafting of the communique between these communities and like-minded organizations served as a pivotal reminder for participants to commit to cultivating peace.
Like everybody says, it's not an event, it's a process. So we have to continue with these meetings with people so that we can establish durable peace in Sierra Leone. It's so important for us to talk to women and young people because during the war, they were the most vulnerable people. And when we involve them, at least we are increasing their visibility and their own voice on what to do.
Community stakeholders appeal to their community members to cultivate a culture of peace within their communities so as to drive development. According to them, to achieve peace is a collective responsibility which all of them should incorporate. Some of the recommendations included engaging various communities on the effects and causes of the 11-year war in Sierra Leone, engaging in active peace outreach programs, cultivating the attitude of truth and transparency, establishing peace clubs in schools, and using the media to disseminate peace messages. During the month of September, the Residual Special Courts for Sierra Leone aims to encourage Sierra Leoneans to cultivate a culture of peace, serving as ambassadors to cascade the message of peace so as to drive development. For SLBC News Hour in Freetown, Stella Bangura reporting.
Sierra Leone's ambassador to the African Union, Harold Safar, has urged civilian authorities to assert control over military forces through strengthened institutions like parliamentary committees and defense oversight bodies. This, according to the ambassador Harold Safar, would ensure that military remains accountable to and operates under the rule of law. The ambassador was addressing the African Union's Peace and Security Council (PSC) on the topic Civil-Military Relation and Conflict Management in Africa. He cited November 26, 2023 incident in Sierra Leone, which was a brazen attempt to subvert the state. He also condemned political elites who manipulate military forces for personal or partisan gains, which he said reduces the military's professionalism, leading to its involvement in a political conflict and eroding its role as protector of national sovereignty. Ambassador Safar also called for the military in Africa to undergo regular training in democratic governance, human rights protection, and the rule of law. He called on regional economic communities such as ECOWAS and SADC to play a more active role in fostering civil-military collaboration, particularly in managing cross-border conflicts and insurgencies. It's now time for our segment, and we start off with our international news.
It's a very pleasant welcome to the International News Summary on News this hour. Coming up, Israel has launched airstrikes on southern Lebanon as Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah condemns this week's fatal explosive devices attacks. Moment before Nasrallah's television speech, Israel confirmed fresh strikes, says the device attacks, which killed at least 37, crossed all limits, rules and headlines, and paid no heed to innocent people. More than 2,600 people were injured when thousands of pagers exploded on Tuesday and walkie-talkies exploded on Wednesday, multiple sources say. Israel's Mossad spy agency was targeted. Hezbollah, Israel has not commented. Hassan Nasrallah's much-anticipated speech, his first public reaction since the wave of attacks on Lebanon in the latest couple of days, had as expected some strong words against Israel. Referring to the country, he said the enemy had all limits, rules and headlines to the explosions that killed at least 37 people and injured more than 3,000 others. 5 women say they were raped by former Harrods boss Mohammed Al-Fayed when they worked at the luxury London department store. The BBC has had testimony from more than 20 female ex-employees who said the billionaire who died last year, aged 94, sexually assaulted and raped them. The documentary and broadcast Al-Fayed, predator at Harrods, gathered evidence that during Fayed's ownership, Harrods not only failed to intervene but helped cover up abuse allegations. Harrods' current owners said they were utterly appalled by the allegations and that his victims had been failed, for which the store sincerely apologized. The spider's web of corruption and abuse in this company was unbelievable and very dark, says Barrister Bruce Drummond from a legal team representing a number of women. Since this article was first published, more former Harrods employees have contacted the BBC saying Mohammed Al-Fayed assaulted them. The incidents took place in London, Paris, St. Tropez and Abu Dhabi. Guinea's most wanted fugitive, a former senior military officer who escaped from prison last November, has been extradited from neighboring Liberia along with his son, officials say. Ex-Colonel Cody Peavy, will now serve his life sentence after being convicted in absentia for his role in the massacre of opposition supporters at the stadium in the capital Conakry in 2009, Guinea's military prosecutor said. He and his son, Vani Pivi, were arrested on the border of the two states during a routine security check on Tuesday. Photos circulating online showed Pivi looking frail and handcuffed along his son, who is accused of orchestrating the prison break that freed his father. Haiti's government has taken a key step towards holding long-delayed elections with the creation of a body which will oversee the polls. The 9-member Provincial Electoral Council set up on Wednesday has been tasked with organizing elections in February 2026. The last time Haitians voted sometime into power was in 2016. Since then, armed gangs have seized control of almost the entire capital, Port-au-Prince, as well as large swaths of rural areas of Haiti. And finally, on the international news summary, a man in Hong Kong has been sentenced to 14 months in jail after pleading guilty to sedition for wearing a t-shirt with a protest slogan on it. The jail term is the first handed down by the city's court under a new local national security law that was passed in March. Well, that's all in the international news summary. Thank you for watching and goodbye.
For business updates.
Hello and welcome to Business Updates, the segment that brings you insight in business and its contribution toward positively impacting the economy. I am Moses Conte. In today's edition, we shall examine the price of rice in local markets, which has sparked concern among traders and customers, as this has also affected business. Recently, the hike in price of rice in local markets has prompted traders to raise concern over the said issue. The current situation they discovered is unfavorable for them, as they barely maximize profit in recent times. Our business reporter, Henrietta Coker, compiled the reports, voiced in our studio by Stella Bangura.
Rice is a staple food that most Sierra Leoneans cannot go without even for a day. Hence, its rapid change in prices has prompted traders to complain about how disturbing it has been for them. Omar Sise, a salesman, said the hike in the prices of rice has affected his profit margin and has reduced his customer base. He is, however, calling on government to readjust the prices of rice in the market.
According to rice, the price will go up right now. The buy rice 600,000, 700,000, but right now 905,000. So they buy 905,000 and we sell 910,000, so we get 5,000 there. Right now, we don't get much customer right now because the price don't go up right now, so we don't get more customer. Let government help me because right now they strain.
A trader, Ernestine Tarawali, said because of the reduction of their customer base, they will have to keep the rice in stores for longer periods, which reduce the quality of the rice.
They call back from the country, they come back, or let me plan to tell you something. Where they come to supply, who they took up, when we get problems, because we get problems, it affects one person, but when you see no fun, the other customer
For Mrs. Sise, the prices of rice increases yearly, adding that people are now accusing them, the common traders, of raising the prices of rice instead of the bigger dealers and importers of this rice.
Let me say the big bags they say like 300, the small bag 200, but this is like 5, so this big one are 950.
As it is, maintaining sales and increasing profit margin of rice for traders in the market seem to be choking the traders, as the customers buy less from them many a time, whilst they buy at a much more higher cost. Whilst they're calling for government intervention, they're currently unsure how soon will such situation change for them.
Many thanks to our business team for that report. Well, that's all for this edition on Business Update. I am Moses Conte.
And now we move on to the entertainment news.
Hello and welcome to Entertainment News with me, Sulaiman Babature. In this edition of Entertainment News, Alonso Abasi releases teaser of Sabi video. Bakiteno set to release full version of Problem. And Sierra Leone's Maria Yongai breaks 19 years old Guinness records. After a while, Alonso Abasi, who has been blessing us with melodious songs like Angel and Mariama among others, has released a teaser of his new song Sabi. The song is of course classic and the video is superb. Let's watch.
I say all of me loving all of you, baby, cause you got to fall, yeah. And the way you holding me, touching me, kissing me, gravity, taking me hard, yeah. I said, now you know mocking, treat me right.
And next, the Sierra Leone Entertainment Awards Best New School Artist nominee, Bakiteno, posted on his Facebook page to alert his fans on the release of his new song, Problem, which is already causing problems on various social media handles. The promising star, which blends his traditional Creole culture with Afro-Creole, featured Samza Ofino on the song, and he released a short version of the song weeks back, and most people have vibed to it. Let's take a look.
All in love with talk cooler. Ina okuno wa shurailo. Now one time unak you say put cola. Well last week I see don't so bailo. Left, you want me fan feel fair? Miss me so umunike. Now go take my sapay still and pull on a odo doka na you chankili chair. Face fine, granny body. Pick you up like a granny bobby. The way baby will start the business and claim party boy. It's like na granny for me. Hey.
In one of his posts, Lazani Bakiteno, the Creole Lord, said he chose Sunday for the release because the 22nd of September is his birth date. With his unique Creole style and lyrics, the rising star is already being considered as the next king by his fans and some bloggers. And finally, good news for Sierra Leone. It has been confirmed by Guinness World Records that indeed Maria Yongai broke 19 years old most cosmetic makeovers record set by an Indonesian, Mata Tyler, in 2005. According to a post on Guinness page, Mata Tyler completed 96 makeups in 24 hours, which Mary exceeded in completing 111 makeups in 24 hours. The requirement for such records, according to the post, includes the application of concealer, foundation, blush or bronzer, at least 2 colors of eyeshadow, eyeliner, mascara, lipstick, lip liner, and pressed or loose powder to finish. After the news about the 26-year-old Mary's achievement broke out, fans and Sierra Leoneans took to social media congratulating Mary on such achievements. Congratulations to Maria Yongai. Of course, her efforts on the 1st of May 2024 did not go wasted. Well, that's all we have for this edition of Entertainment News with me, Sulaiman Babature. Ta-ta.
That was Entertainment News. Now it's time for sports updates.
Hello and welcome to Sports Updates and News. I am your presenter, Esther Marie Samura. In this edition of the Sport News, Sierra Leone top cyclist Moses Kamara has won stage 4 of the Tour de Ivory Coast cycling competition, covering 126 kilometers. Kamara, alongside 4 other cyclists, are representing the country. The technical director of the Sierra Leone Cycling Association informed the Slbc that amidst lack of financial support from government, their cyclists have been able to put up a brave performance in the competition. Here is the report. It was a daunting task for these 5 young Sierra Leonean cyclists who departed Sierra Leone for Abidjan by road due to lack of financial support from the government. Shedrack Williams, technical director of the Sierra Leone Cycling Association, said the cyclists spent 4 days on the road and faced countless challenges.
Even though we don't get money, but we'll try to do the best. If we get for call on NSA for support for the trip, but nobody not give any support. See now, we safe or full safe. We get for final lane to go for go lane money. Can you imagine for good. Use the road, take our 4 days on the road, and even when they go, they reach the very day for ride. They couldn't start the ride on this Sunday. They pass through. The very day when they for ride, they reach 6 o'clock in the morning. Can you just imagine? They reach 6 o'clock in the morning. The competition for start 9 o'clock. So they don't get much time for rest. But even that, your boys can do very well.
Moses Camara, who defeated his close contenders from other African nations in stage 4 of the Tour de Ivory Coast cycling competition, covered 126 kilometers. This overwhelming victory never came as a surprise, as Moses is the current champion of the Salon Cup and represented Sierra Leone in the All-African Games in Ghana.
So not a surprise to me. I don't say na first winner. I don't say must do something. A big achievement, a great achievement, because these are the first in history for the cycling go Ivory Coast, because now 7 nations, big nations in cycling, that they take part in this Tour de Ivory. Tour de Ivory Coast is one of the biggest tours in Africa. So for let's alone go win, and a big victory for the association and for the country.
7 nations are competing in this year's Tour de Ivory Coast, and for the first time, a cyclist from Sierra Leone has won a stage in a competition. Moses will be eyeing the final championship. In the news also, following the violence that erupted during the match between Bambara Town and Fobe Community's football team, COFA is yet to come out with a position regarding that match, as they've already suspended the competition till further notice. Sierra Leoneans are anticipating for an outcome as soon as possible. We'll definitely bring you details of that story. Well, that's it for sports updates and news. I have been your presenter, Esther Marisa. Goodbye, keep watching Slbc.
That was the sports updates, and now to end the news, the main points again. Chairman Shalima Company has denied accusations of monopolizing the business of TVS motorbikes in Sierra Leone. Rose Mouse said he was simply a businessman ready to sell to anyone. Stakeholders in the fight against sexual and gender-based violence, teenage pregnancy and early marriage have called on the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs to develop strong relations to complement the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2024. And residents and road users have expressed concern over the deplorable condition of the Macaulay Street in Freetown. People in Aberdeen, Freetown and neighboring communities told the SLBC that the condition of the road is affecting their day-to-day movement, particularly during the rains. Well, that's how this edition of News Hour ends. From the SLBC, I have been Maria Tudukwe. Thank you so much. Until next time, goodbye.